Update. Am I the a-hole for calling the police on my mother-in-law for bringing peanuts into my house? Original post. I, 27 female, have a severe peanut allergy. Even a trace can send me to the hospital, so my husband and I agreed our house would be a 100% peanut-free zone. Everyone in the family knows this. We told them. We reminded them. We made rules. It's not negotiable for me. It's literally life or death. The problem is my mother-in-law. She loves peanuts and doesn't take my allergies seriously. She keeps saying things like, just don't eat them, or you're overreacting. She jokes about it, brushes it off at family gatherings, and acts like it's an inconvenience for her to avoid her favorite snack. Despite me asking her multiple times not to bring peanuts into my home, she still does. She eats them in the car, on the porch, or worse, she brings them in and opens them while she's visiting. Last week, while my husband was away for work, she came over unannounced with a bag of roasted peanuts. I told her several times, very calmly at first, that she couldn't bring them in. I asked her to leave them in her bag or outside on the porch. She ignored me. She opened them in my living room and started eating. I felt my chest tighten and my mouth go dry. I told her again that she had to stop, that it was dangerous. She laughed and said, "It's fine." She didn't get it, or worse, she did and didn't care. I was furious, but more than furious, I was terrified. My allergy is severe enough that residue can be on hands, on cushions, on countertops. Even crumbs or oils can cause a reaction. I thought about my son, my husband, about waking up in an emergency room. I felt boxed in. I couldn't trust that she would clean up properly, or that she wouldn't touch things I might later touch or eat from. So I called the police. I explained the situation, a known severe allergy, repeated requests ignored, and an immediate risk inside my own home. The officers came, questioned her, and left. My mother-in-law was taken in for questioning. I did not want to humiliate anyone. I didn't want drama. I didn't want escalation. I just wanted to be alive and safe. Now my sister-in-law is telling me I overreacted, that I embarrassed the family, and that I should have just ignored it or quietly cleaned up after mother-in-law left. From their perspective, it's a minor household spat. From mine, it's blatant disregard for my life. I repeatedly told mother-in-law not to bring peanuts into my house. She did it anyway. She knowingly introduced something life-threatening into my home. I honestly wasn't trying to be dramatic. I was terrified. Calling the police wasn't about shaming anyone. It was about protecting myself. If that makes me the bad guy in their story, so be it. I can't compromise when the stakes are this high. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Having dealt with a mother-in-law who didn't believe our kids had life-threatening allergies, I understand this. This was attempted murder and should be treated as such. No contact is also in order for mother-in-law and sister-in-law. Agree. I know someone who did something similar at the allergic person's workplace. They hid a few peanuts in their pocket just to see if they were really allergic. HR heard about it, fired the offender, and called the allergic person in to see if they wanted to file charges because they were prepared to back them up if it went to court. My manager is allergic to cinnamon. One of our coworkers didn't like my manager much and proceeded to have a Teams chat with yet another coworker and threatened to bring cinnamon to sprinkle into the carpet in my manager's office. Manager and I were friends outside the office. I heard them talking about it while I was on a break. And a-hole or not, I told her what I had heard. HR pulled the chat and escorted the two employees out that same day. I wasn't the only one who heard it. It's not cool to threaten or ignore someone's allergies. I have a friend who also is highly allergic to peanuts, and her mother-in-law would send snacks home with her kids willy-nilly without checking ingredients. I don't get people like that. People thinking this is 100% not real must not have been on Reddit for the posts and updates about a woman whose mother-in-law killed one of her daughters. I think it was twin girls and they were severely allergic to coconut. Mother-in-law babysat overnight and decided to do a coconut oil treatment to the girl's hair. Then, when the poor child started having a reaction, mother-in-law dosed her with Benadryl and sent her to bed. That poor girl died, suffering in bed, half-conscious because she was about 4 years old and had been dosed with Benadryl. And there are many instances of evil mothers-in-law, and even spouses, doing this because they don't think the allergy, or condition like celiac, is real. I remember this story, and I also immediately thought of it. It's still one of the most heartbreaking things I've read. There was another one where the mother-in-law made allergen-laced cookies containing banana and eggs because she didn't believe her grandkid had food allergies and nearly killed her by giving her the allergy cookie while the mom was briefly out of the room. The little girl lived. I don't know if the mother-in-law was charged criminally or not. Now for the update. Hi everyone. I didn't expect my original post to blow up the way it did. I read through so many comments, and I honestly appreciate everyone who took the time to explain how serious my allergy is and that I wasn't overreacting. So, here's what happened after. Mother-in-law was released the same day, but she was furious. She told everyone I humiliated her and claimed I just wanted attention. My sister-in-law and a few relatives started messaging me nonstop, calling me dramatic and cruel for involving the police. It was awful. Texts and calls popping up for days, all telling me I should have handled it differently. I kept thinking, you've never had to be terrified of crumbs on your couch. When my husband got back, he was shocked at first. He'd been out of town and didn't see the immediate danger until I showed him the opened peanut shells on the couch and the police report. Once he saw it, he changed. He didn't hesitate. He told his mom she wasn't welcome in our home until she respected our rules and understood the risk. It sparked a family blow-up that lasted the evening, but he stayed firm. He even sent a group message to relatives explaining, clearly and calmly, that my allergy is not a preference, it's a medical emergency. Anyone who can't respect that would not be allowed to visit. The twist, mother-in-law actually went to see a doctor after all the drama. Apparently, she was stressed and decided to get checked out. The doctor backed me up completely, told her peanut protein residue can linger and absolutely trigger severe reactions. He spelled it out for her in a way she seemed to understand. She hasn't formally apologized, but she's been quiet and noticeably more careful when around us. I'm still shaken. I didn't want police involvement, and I still hate that it escalated. But I finally feel safer in my own home. My husband and I are looking at a small camera at the entrance to prevent surprise visits, and we've made our rules non-negotiable. So yeah, I don't think I overreacted anymore. I just protected myself. I wanted peace, not drama, and I'm grateful my husband finally saw how serious it was. I didn't read the first post, but I see this theme a lot, where somebody has an allergy or an aversion to some food or substance, and somebody else feels that it is their right or responsibility to prove whether or not they are lying. I had a friend who had a deadly allergy to pork, and his sister didn't believe him and kept trying to put pork in his food. I know that some people believe that you can overcome your allergies by exposing yourself in small quantities and becoming accustomed to it. Under a doctor's supervision, that is a fine plan, but for some people, continued exposure actually makes the reaction worse and more deadly. The thing I don't understand is people's need to be right and to prove that the person's allergies aren't so bad. I don't eat salmon because I got food poisoning from salmon once. I know lots of people who love salmon, and when I tell them why I don't want it anywhere near me and how even the smell of it upsets my stomach, not one of them has ever tried to force me to eat salmon to change my mind. If they can respect my simple aversion, why can't other people respect life-threatening allergies? People act like allergies are vibes, not literal life or death. Good on you, OP, and hubby for setting the line. Mother-in-law can stay mad outside. People are morons. Sometimes deadly morons. I still wouldn't trust mother-in-law. She's still going to push boundaries. I wouldn't trust any of the in-laws. If mother-in-law can gather the flying monkeys that quick, no telling if one might try to prove it isn't a severe allergy. Next story. Am I the a-hole for going on vacation without my stepdaughter? Original post. I, 28 female, and my husband, 29 male, got married last year. We were not able to go on a honeymoon as he had just started a new job that required him to be away from home. We have never been on a vacation together. We've gone to one state for like a week, but it was for work. So we decided at the beginning of summer that we were going on vacation for our 1-year wedding anniversary. We're set on Disney World. When we asked my 12-year-old stepdaughter's mom if we could take her with us, she told us, no, if I don't get to take her on extravagant vacations, neither do you. So we continued to plan our vacation and just not include my stepdaughter. Now biomom is messaging us, telling us we're a-holes for still going, knowing it's stepdaughter's dream to go. Here's the thing about it. This is my dream to go. I was supposed to go as a kid with my grandparents, and my papa got sick with cancer, so we didn't get to go, and we're stopping in Tennessee to spread my dad's ashes. I feel on one hand, since I'm the one paying for the vacation, I don't need to feel guilty for going on this vacation. But on the other hand, I feel like a complete a-hole because my stepdaughter was excited to go with us, and now her mom won't let her come, so I feel like maybe we should cancel it? I don't know. Would I be the a-hole to go to Disney without my stepdaughter? Why would she not allow you to take her daughter, then criticize you for going anyway? That's down to her, not you, not the a-hole. Because she wanted to keep her ex-husband from enjoying a vacation with his new wife. She was using her daughter to manipulate them, thinking that they would scrap their plans without the daughter. Now biomom has trapped herself as the villain in the narrative. Next, biomom will lie to the daughter and claim that stepmother didn't want her. Not the a-hole. I'll be honest, I think if mom had been okay with her going and you chose not to take her, you'd be at least a little stinky. But that's not what happened. Mom tried to use her daughter to keep you from going on this vacation. This is on her. Yeah, mom faffoed herself here. I would tell the daughter that you asked for her to come with, but mom said no. Truth is not manipulation. Yes, definitely let stepdaughter know that it is her mom who has stopped her from going. Sometimes I'm in favor of keeping certain information regarding communication between parents from the kids, but in this case, your stepdaughter needs to hear from you and her dad that you wanted her to go, but that it was her mom that shot it down. The truth is the truth. Her mom sucks. She's 12, not a smaller child. I think she deserves to know about her mom's behavior, and you all don't deserve to be blamed for it. Step-parent relationships are tricky enough. Now for the update. I'm going to answer some questions before we get into the update. We are from northern Michigan. My husband was 16 when this child was born. Biomom was 19. When they did all of the legal proceedings, obviously a 16-year-old could not afford an attorney, and she could, so he just signed the papers to be done with it even though they were still together. He joined the army as soon as he turned 18, went overseas, came home, and she was pregnant by someone else, so he left. The court order is every other weekend, and the Wednesday following Mother's Weekend, we have petitioned for him to get more custodial rights, but that takes time, and we cannot get into the courts until July of 2026. I don't communicate with the biomom at all. It is not my place. That's Dad's place, so I stay out of it. Also, stepdaughter found out about the vacation because she got onto my computer while I was at work and I didn't think to close out the tab. This trip was planned on our off week from her, but her mom switched weekend and never switched us back. I think that's all of the questions. I will try to answer more as they come up. Now let's get into the update. My husband came in off the road this morning, so we all got to have breakfast together. We sat down with my stepdaughter, and she read the messages between her father and mother, where her mom said no. We explained to her that this was going to be more of an adult trip, and that maybe next year we can go over the summer when we have a bit more time with her. She was obviously upset. My husband then allowed her to call her mom and ask herself. Her mom went off, talking about, "That bitch is trying to take my place, and she will never be your mom. If you're going to Disney, then Dad and I are taking you, and that bitch can stay home," etc. Daughter started crying and saying, "This is why I don't want to come back to your house. And all you do is yell at me for wanting more time with Dad." So we hung up on her mom. We compromised with my stepdaughter. We drove down to Cedar Point for the day, did the Halloween night there, got a hotel, and we're going back home tomorrow. She hugged me and told me she loved me for inviting her, and she thanked me saying, "Thank you for being the mom I don't have." As for a family trip to Disney, well, we emailed our lawyer and told him we want vacation time to be added into the court agreement. And my amazing bonus kiddo told her dad and me to have the best time, and also asked us to bring her back some treats. Last story. Am I the a-hole for completely cutting off my mother, even from my kids, because she refused to make amends with my wife? I, 38 male, was married to my now ex-wife for just shy of 20 years. She never left my side, always supported me, even when I absolutely did not deserve it. We aren't married anymore. It was a mutual decision as we have grown apart. We still live together, take care of our kids, and are still very close friends. I will call her wife to avoid direct names. Wife got me one of those DNA family tree tests for my birthday 3 years ago. I was always told that I am 1/4 Greek, as my great-grandfather came over from Greece. But the results told me I have 0 Greek in me at all. Evidence shows that my great-grandmother likely had an affair, and that resulted in my grandmother. My great-grandfather was not a good guy, abusive, cheated all the time, so I don't blame my great-grandmother for it. A bit later, my sister got my mom one of the DNA tests. She found out we have no Greek in us and was devastated. Mind you, we do not speak Greek, have never been to Greece, know nothing about the current culture, and don't even eat Greek food. In effect, it was just a nice bit of conversation filler. Wife talked to my mother, telling her that it's not a big deal. Her own family had cheating involved, and everyone knows it. It's in the past. Done and done. My mother took this conversation as wife being mean to her, as well as rude. I read the texts, and it was not rude or mean in any way. This all came to a head, and I stopped talking to my mother as she was constantly telling me that wife was too mean and not the girl she once knew. Now, wife grew up with a very mentally and verbally abusive mother. As a result, she has pretty bad anxiety and was very meek and soft-spoken. She eventually went to the doctor and got meds so she can be herself. My mother did not like this. She was used to the pushover wife, easy to manipulate and whatnot. Eventually, my mother wanted to meet with me at a McDonald's near her house, so I went. We talked and things kinda were okay. We met again for lunch while I was at work. I am a city carrier mailman at a Subway. She asked me if she could go to my house and talk to my wife. I said, yeah, she's home. Mother did go to my house, knocked one time lightly, then left. I have a video doorbell thing, so I have proof of this. Mother said she rang the bell, she did not, and no one answered. So I flat out told her that I know she didn't actually make an effort to talk to wife and patch things up. Naturally, she called me a liar, but I had the proof, so I told her that she would have no contact with me or my kids until she patched things up. Well, my mother decided to go around my wishes and sent my kids cards through the mail with tracking. Clearly not respecting my wishes, me or wife, I let it go for the time being. A year goes by and I message my mother telling her that it has been a year and she needs to let go of her damn ego and fix things with wife. She went to her go-to classics. I gave birth to you. You can't talk to me like this. I got mad and sent back. You can stop that crap right now because it will not work. You made the choice to have kids. I had nothing to do with it. Holding the I raised you thing over my head? Yes, you did what a parent should do. Nothing was resolved. I sent her one final message, telling her that she raised me to be a good person, to respect other people. If I were doing what she is doing right now, she would go out of her way to make damn sure that I've fixed it. She doesn't practice what she preaches. And so, the no contact continues. For the record, the kids are all old enough to decide if they want to have contact with her, and none of them do as long as she is being this way. Not the a-hole. I'm sorry I'm about to ask a stupid question, but how did you know there was cheating? Was it just because you found no Greek in you? Looking at the family tree that the results on the app gave me, I was able to trace things back to my great-grandmother. I share DNA with a group of people I've never heard of. The same names showed up on my mother's results, same relations with those folks, and none with great-grandfather's genetics.